Ashafo emamu nyina kwaba once again eba ifidi kese so ya Pinaxtv. Chairman Wontumi once again is in the news and then ensue talk ewa kra bibia aye menya a form aye chochocho but one person a mino kase or show edini pay aye Chairman Wontumi. So mino kase, you know, if you don't know what is really going on, for the starters the CNSA Chairman Wontumi, I think some few months ago Chairman Wontumi was arrested. Basically near chese akonta mine ne de no wa mine akodu baby an wo so odu, and also contract bi anan nsa sha sia government, previous government the man no questionable, it based on that no. Now was Chairman Wontumi obi ehwo ano, and also no mu believe say Chairman Wontumi so no ono galamse ekoso no ne nsa ehyaase charges dey bebre na me no ka say Chairman Wontumi arrest ne first no sa infamous menye Ghana ni biem munsori eba ye no ye che no ye senja no okay ema police force an ko ni fie no mo per search ema eche no area of force mo mpene be eche no ye invite ye sa che no ye che no ba ya sa che ni bi senja ama ne okoye no indra cross anko eye fenisen courts ya che no ye jai no ye man bill of 1 million Ghana say ene so okoye no pie ya che no ama ya set bill no at 15 million Ghana cedis. So that is exactly what you are watching on the screens. But then Minuka said there are new updater same way nyina course new updater eba. And at the point in time, no, you was share in summer if you hoba, and also the way forward, because amount of people started reacting more. Amount of people say, okay, it teaching actually want to me no. What was he saying? He said that like the previous ones, and now we the say be papa be film about. At the end of the day, no, I believe said before we use our live program, we know you be exactly where all of this is also coming from, and also no, me no can say no. Chairman Wontumi lawyers edin simbia babe tuja you be showing nyina right here on this particular live video here because in seminar e wo ho ne de bebre be answer na e beto aso no yemfa we into screens no. So or say Chairman Wontumi rearrested and arranged before another high court. So Chairman Wontumi ni woes na e kwasonate for bebre e kamia kwa say each and every day no Chairman Wontumi has something I was already or back no better. But then young when share this particular video again of when Chairman Wontumi was fixed to to court. Bread in the court I sans chini be my sans setting another bill no handcuffs a good in sano share sa particular video by you share in summer a course or court or any day or no one can Chairman Wontumi the lawyers at the ababe tuja because in some way na air course no to Chairman Wontumi there for those of you don't know he's maintained say he's innocent. It's are you guilty there be or say not guilty. So all the 6 charges I had about Chairman Wontumi he has said he is not guilty. Therefore you share this particular video babaka you better us.
Let's go. Open the other one. Sit down. Give way. Please. Yes. No. Which car are you sitting? Sit inside.
So that is Chairman Wontumi and I know kasi yedin kwa na o police car nim no. But the big question is what really happened today in court. Eba ne se na ne that the omochi Wontumi omuja no. And then the omochi no minja no. At the end of course court. It's for we have the video of what really happened in court. Babaka. Also no, we also have an update about what is really going on because the lawyers no, according to them, they are saying said the idea Wontumi no, it is because of MPPD. You share this particular video of what really happened. A brother Chairman Wontumi a court. Yensha video ye babaka it's for ye better us because definitely there is a lot of things what say you can't want them right here on this particular platform Pinaxtv.
Now CID headquarters Kana before actual on San friend and that year Aka High Court and a Wabi PU. Na Aka High Court you people that say Benzina the December about some year squared up on the stair. The company at the day a contaminating for the one man for whom you do here more a sweet woman, a brana, on G2 and I say permission in fee minister at the time may come 2024. I yella in the family and Nababa is not now count now, Yadiabona Yamaka for 6. Me and son assignment of minerals rights without approval. And me and son come on 2 years. Purposely facilitating an unlicensed mining operation. Into shares that Nyomeya Makiya, let's say, Galamsins and Sama for Swa, Tamri, Munti, Nayade, Ura, which Yakunchema, Muntumi, Ababi Napo. Then you didn't bet now, hot, no, Urachema, Muntumi, your friend now, Gina Adake, Muno, never said your Sotonamo. You can't kind of tell na editor no fire fast so or yes I didn't na any name here assembly you didn't have a port. And you can kind of navy and you can tell would you for and I say would you for where do I diaboli na I want to make a share port and say oh you for Emma I feel never said your twice in so now baby I could buy a could you say I was say the lawyer to a casa na the lawyer Jimmy Muma no Ura and appear Kubi no catch your port and the best say Yabema Ura Chema Wontumi bill. Besan say Chema Wontumi no bia. Ebane say Shishena na say Mandi Bela. All my court Emma assembly no enkoso. And I say say Mandi Bela. O nkofo kuku jamana say nkofo mye ni particular one betumi gyina mu ama na surety. In the court na hwe o we bushia ena nko we djuma e wo Ghana. Nso no bia Yamandi Bela obejane. Emma kanyampa court no e ka say ko bofo no obibi kan ono sonka aban lawyer pini abedi Dr. Justice Shemsai sorry e ka che court le say am ora che ma Wontumi be woni omo ni wan tem bia kan court ni tumi mo be e ma ni be o mu omo be set bill no e san say ye code wo etuma a ye nyai ni nte e ye code etuma de sika wo mu pa no ye ma ni be la e mu odu san ye be ya ko ba ne say ye be di atem na wiem ko di fo na say bank ko ba ne say ko be jane a
you will see a button or
punishment. Emma, happen so, or best friend say, you better get a passport, send a bear, around to me, and Kobe, ya. No, the one policy in an or day, after you, or the bill now, or the Amman, or the Betuja, and I'll say one for the car say, one man the bill, a year 15 million Ghana city. With 3 sureties, they won't sureties, you know, or better say, or Modia Japadia, at the same time, and I say, after, if ever justified. Happen so Ora Wontumi so passport pay to cry on fanny na and the court ni register. Than Chenya you say near kind of stop list no. Let's just say baby biara ye power Ghana ha e ko baby o mind ko to biano. You make sure that Chema Wontumi mfa hompi. Let's just say Chema Wontumi to find the biara that. And I could say ye baby assembly and happen so the Ghana card on Bambeja Emma court no. And the sureties so major copies of Ghana card Emma your court ni register and court ni we and court ni say what investigator na say obi a nipa na oya asem na hwehwe no or better say busuli bia 2 times and I said twice Ura Chema Wontumi on fa ni nko investigator na investigator no anfa ni nyina nto nkrata so say na be ya court ni hu say your kan ye omudi so pepepe court ni we na court ni ka say or ma kwedu go for up to the 28th of this month HSA 28th of this month, October, yeah, and watching me, son. Nanya, I can't say disclosures, and I think class out, whatever they come on one step, court, no. Omudina, Everton class, no, about the dime court, no. It is our lady, you two are 8th October. Me kasa say every time I tell you about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. We went to go see a lawyer for or more so court them go. You need me to my check, no moment you say. Bill na ye dia man no no akonyaba na Sunday we you move to send your beya obenya ni fa ho die temporary. It is Sunday ya akoso aka high court eno.
Okay, Philip Aboni ejuma pa.
Therefore, that is not the only thing that really happened today in courts, because in some courts or courts it is a lot of issues. Now, Wontumi the lawyers Eden Simbia Babe Tuja, and I want to tell you, say the lawyers they are still maintaining say Wontumi is innocent. Okay, according to them, normal parties say Wontumi the is just a genuine business. But then the National Democratic Congress led by John Dramani Mahama, and then the political rivalry and normal persecuting Wontumi nipa or this same way etuja Andy Apia Kubi, who happened to be the lead counsel of the New Patriotic Party chairman Bernard Inchi-Bosiako, friend chairman Wontumi. Now, according to him, there so far no they are still working, because if you don't know, the bail conditions of chairman Wontumi was set at 15 million Ghana cedis. Now, what is also shocking is that the case has been adjourned to October 28, 2025. So in some day be but it's here for Yankoti in Sama. Chairman Wontumi, the lawyer, no Tuja, what he's saying about this, and the argument all make bimo parties, all of these things are air cost. It is just one big witch hunter. The National Democratic is just the National Democratic Congress is just doing everything possible. Why? So at the end of the day, and say Chairman Wontumi campaign a certain political opponent, Wontumi a certain political opponent account mu. So to him, all these things are air cost. Enuntia na air cost is one big political scam. Yenkoti someone the lawyer Eddie Tuja Babaka. We will definitely continue this particular update right here on this particular platform, Pinaxtv.
And justification. We are working on the executing the bail conditions. We are currently working with the registrar of the court. Unfortunately, at this time, we are not able to secure the release of the accused persons for reason that the police will have to go and inspect their houses, the sureties, the houses of the sureties, and come back and give a report before the registrar could execute the bail bonds. So for now, bail granted in both cases. What I have to explain is that there is one case pending before Court 4, Criminal Court 4, and another pending before Criminal Court 1. We secured the bail and its associated conditions in the morning, only be slapped with another case that we needed to go to Court 1 to prosecute it. So the charge sheet as given to us was around 2 o'clock. So the court has just finished the second one and also granted bail. Meeting the bail conditions at this present time will be difficult, although we have the sureties and they have also brought the documents. We hope that tomorrow we'll be able to finish and then secure the release of the accused persons. We thank you very much for your time. We hope that everything will be fine tomorrow.
So what do you make of the?
It is a general situation that we have to address as a country. You see, the Criminal Procedure Code, Section 96(4) says that bail should not be used as punishment of the accused persons. We did that articulation in court. The court took into consideration that admonition of the system, but because the precedent doesn't favor otherwise of treating accused persons fairly and without consideration of what they have alleged to have committed, and also making it difficult for them to be able to discharge their responsibility to secure the bail. It's a national issue that we need to discuss and accept. It's becoming too many that accused persons are being subjected to a difficulty of finding value for properties that will secure their bail. It is a national issue that we need to discuss. I'm not sure that there is anything untoward, but there is a process that we need to affect and make sure that it serves the purpose for which the law was made. And in any case, as I said in court, the Attorney General is also the Minister of Justice. So he should be in a position to protect the civil and liberties and rights of accused persons. Because the position of the law is that accused person is deemed to be innocent until otherwise proven. And therefore we have to also protect their human rights even when they are labeled as accused persons until they are pronounced guilty. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to
Okay, so that is exactly what went on today in court. But then, something also did went on because Chairman Wontumi called court, He went to court, he was in all smiles, he was happy, time on all premises, honor. But then this is like a few moments later, and everything just started going boom, boom, boom for Chairman Wontumi. I didn't make us your money bill, your and it was just becoming unbecoming for Chairman Wontumi. We have a video of that particular incident, of course. So, of how Chairman Wontumi went to court and also how he came back. And a man forecasted this one part there, Charlie. And Chairman Wontumi is really, 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 really suffering, if you want to put it that way. Yeah, Bekwa share the particular video I can once and also how it went. How Chairman Wontumi went to court, he was in high spirits, he was happy, say, at the end of the day, he's going to be acquitted, the case was coming on. It just say everything was okay up until this particular moment. He delivered the bad news to Chairman Wontumi. You enjoy this particular video, you're back at T for your better also.
All right.
Council, good morning.
Good morning. You want to join us in the court?
Yes, yeah. I mean,
Council, you seem confused as to which particular court you're going to.
Yes.
We have not been informed yet as to which court we are coming, but we are here, so we are ready. As soon as we have information of the court, we will appear.
Oh, okay.
So, I wish
Come on,
you
what's
well.
the feeling like today?
It's okay. It's okay.
Any words for some
Yes,
members?
yes.
No words. The words are reserved for the courtroom.
Okay, so that is Chairman Wontumi. Now, a reminder was that we are live right here on this particular platform. It's wow, person what they will comment about. You are free to bring in your comments. You read the amount right here on this particular platform, Pinaxtv, because definitely, there is a lot of things at Koswa. What say you can't say. So, in regards to Chairman Wontumi issue, before you ever consent for us, so if you want to drop in your comments, you are free to drop in your comments. What you think and answer what you make about all of these things at Air Cost. Do you think that Chairman Wontumi's arrest, do you think it's in the right direction? It be more air patches is just a political witch hunt. Because MPP is in opposition, and then one of the main financiers of the Baumia campaign on Chairman Wontumi. So any day, if you're able to tackle Chairman Wontumi, then at the end of the day you can also bring the Osono and a nipa odi Osono nim no, which is Baumia down. Also, there are questions as to whether this is really authentic, because a chroma Chairman Wontumi kwa na galamsiana. He say Chairman Wontumi companies no you close be break down, but still galamsey is still ongoing. So it clearly tells us that Chairman Wontumi may be a part of the problem, but he's not the problem in its entirety. It's may nya wajenchre a bit me read some few comments here. No comments have come yet, so we will really move on to another issue, another matters. Now, Sabra Minoka say for there is a breaking news because Minoka say Gold Board, Ghana Gold Board, or Mudia Babe Tuja said these 4 people that you see on their screens Minoka say yachiomo. The issue of galamsey has to do with the fact say one more galamsey to omu 2 gold now. Now at the end of the day omu nya atofo omuntu. Let me rephrase it. One more mu ye galamsey omu 2 gold no. So omu ye wie na omu nye obi obeto a. Omu nkoswa into galamsey no. But the issue here is galamsey na omu ye no ye illegal. Omu register as a small scale mining na. Anko ibi omu 2 gold na efome gudie na omu de be call to another party to sell, and as omu de be call Ghana Gold Board and the necessary agencies to buy because unnecessary agencies no omu top and ebe query omu so munye register small scale mining and they nom their fechi and you go boys and one more on beto on the side into any the mass smugglers one more on beto gold without passing through the necessary channels, without paying any taxes and so. Many say the Ghana Gold Board omudi same bia babe tuja say 4 people have been arrested at the Snitz Emporium near Marina Mall, Accra, for engaging in illegal gold trading worth over 2.2 million Ghana cedis without a license. One more, number 1, they don't have license to operate any small scale. They don't have any license to sell or even buy gold. They've not passed through the necessary channels, and yet still they were doing it. According to the Ghana Gold Board, which is being led, Sami Jimfino, Omutimi track for several weeks. And who said no. At the end of the day, these people, they are up to something. They are up to something. To gold. Pass it through the necessary channels. Into no sanko for ye time me and it's here for ye kwachi now enche the pictures about 2 screens so because at the end of the day we have their pictures. Yes, you have 2 screens. We use other platforms pictures I say ya blend on ya they we are not saying say they are accused, but then these are their pictures abetoja inti nipa bako we bema owomu we any nim says or ye friend saying an American into American ni na owomu o trading in illegal gold onunye good we enusu fiwa. There is another party too also involved. This particular party involved nipa we okay yedi kan ahwe American ni okay yedi kan ahwe American ni na ono oye involved it's yebekọ the next person ono so oye involved ono so ni picture abeto dress here. The next person we are learning say oye Moroccan ono de oba kromo hu se bibia illegal into no onfa through the right channel and sources ono nie we so Morocco ni me no kase yache no. Now aside from that there were some Ghanaian people involved omo ye because broni de oba krom ha obi hi obi oba cheche no kwa ha se ha na obenya gold na to ha na obe you bypass the law and it's Ghana ni ba ko ka ho ono so the picture enie. Now aside from that there are other Ghanaians also involved. Other Ghanaian also involved ono so no sa gold illegal gold trading or ka ho enie. Into a time is uncle we ya Marina Mall and a Puam. Now, according to the Ghana Gold Board, they've been tracking these people for the past few weeks. Meeting, there was surveillance on them As our surveillance on them, no, it was monitoring them because at the end of the day, what show na go in kutomwa. You can't say at the end of the day, no, you are going to offense arrest them. You need to make sure say you have evidence. So the evidence was you catching them in the act. Said the omo ye no ebu Ghana ye mbra and also. So that is the issue in regards to what is going on right now. Chairman Wontumi e bleeding no e prison no obiso. Mene okase ono so ayeden ono so bleed seriously for similar crimes and the bi a waye at the end of the day no just at the end of the day no ne ho ache no. Now in this same vein no mene okase the fight against Galamsey no it is really going on because the municipal chief executive for Ebuakwa South your friend no Ado Akins Jr. mene okase were leading operation to clamp down on illegal mining activities at Ekos ewo Chebi nsuo ne tie for sisi ano de nsuo ewo Chebi ntimi no. Ya say a crime, ya say insure, ya say beach, all because of Galamsey. And an honorable MP, owo kronum, friend Ado Akins Jr. or leading a clamp down operation, course to Ebuakwa South, or Makwachi Womwa, or more involved in illegal Galamsey activities in that particular enclave. We have this particular video, courtesy 1957. Yenkoshe video where Babaka. We also have another update they brought right here on this particular platform. But also a reminder that we are live, so you can bring in your comments if at the end of the day, you want to share your comments and opinions based on all of these things at Air Coso. We'll be happy to read your comments. But before then, Yenkoshe exactly clamp down here, course. So Minister Akins Jr. Olidi clamp down at the end of course. So how was it like in Crawford? What did they find? Yes, you see it at the Akins in summer clamp down no koye and what really went on. Better so.
You are doing the video. I'm taking the picture. And carbon. Oh no, Mofio. Mofio, you. What do you want? First row. Hold up. Size, Say you meant to be a master.
Well, so start we can go to any crew, but 4 boats. Oh.
It's for so that is exactly one of the things I echo so in this whole issue about this whole galamsey issue. Menoka say Abe Kanka Mahama who says see and the favorability ratings, it is going down, and according to the global info analytics, the reason why His Excellency John Dramani Mahama his favorability ratings is going down, it is because of his inability. One of the factors is his inability to really stop galamsey, and I said to really tackle galamsey as he promised when he was campaigning. And one other issue too has to do with how he is going about handling corruption. So far, Amanfo Bibri have been found culpable by the law, but yet still they are working freely, and we are glad to see some action is being done, especially using Chairman Wontumi as a scapegoat. But then quickly, let's move on to this particular issue. Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, who is one of the star future candidates for the New Patriotic Party, is sounding an alarm. Say the economy, there is really a whole lot of things that also. Now, yesterday I watched Kojo Oppong Nkrumah when he uploaded a video on his Facebook explaining inflation to the layman and how come say dollar number from government so much so yes still aduane price maybe a in fact for some crown the foodstuffs in markets are costly. So Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, being a parliamentarian and having served for over 10-12 years, he actually gave us an insight as to what is really happening, and at the end of the day, the reason behind this. And then he didn't really shy away from blasting this particular current administration, because according to him, the National Democratic Congress, basically whatever they are doing in regards with the economy, is basically like a show off in business terms, and I say in terms of battle, between one or two people, Rebecca say a paper tiger moves, which means moves at the end of the day, and now he said this, according to Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, Pacha say all these launches and the government are launching program we in your the entire ain't mean effective amount for bottom, it is not reflecting is because a audio money. Yenko T sama Kojo Oppong Nkrumah edituja. When we come back, you will share in Sama or Sanso Kaya about inflation. Let us watch this video back here to us.
I bind the day pa no yema. One ma nkwala bibria na to mahama queen ejumera queen ejuma ba konko me nsa be and they say me bisa young girl be national service girl be me bisa na say you can't 24-hour economy out there also I say ejuma bebu be ejuma sa ma ya
24-hour economy ya pa hontuma mahama ke wo the big push ni nyina no aban no apa ho entuma enye good step.
Pacho me bao.
Abusume Nkrumah.
Me chocho ni na.
Okay, abusume Nkrumah. 24-hour economy wapa hontuma. Mahama ke ewo ho the big push abusume Nkrumah abana pa hontuma enye good step.
Uko Nigeria there were a friend audio money.
Audio money.
Sika wate wo wasum.
Na unhu ye.
He. Opa bi o telephone line ni. Na kase obi a wonye adwuma wa 24-hour economy mu onfrɛ me no betu nchia unya bako audio money 24-hour economy the mind say o ma publish book bi 24-hour economy policy document o kan no de akyerɛw mpacho nipa hina enye adwuma wom nipa hina omo ye adwuma adwuma bako nipa miensa 3 shifts
me honorable me hobi
almost bibi bo ho friend adwuma wura me de minim nipa hina enye adwuma wo adwuma wura ni mu on ba say 1 million coders pacho unim coda bi
David
and this for one udi agrom de nyum ni omano ni asa ni ade be fefa wo hu saa by the end no be kom no be hu say adwuma bi MPM na point I mean making is say uka the real sector of the economy and by now no wo hwe nim say oh aban no the major flagship program near a started swaba. Nana Akufo-Addo buy no September by this time, not free SHS.
Yeah.
Mami a utie me say me boa catch me. Nana Akufo-Addo na mo say onye ni trimu eden keka on eden. September first year ni mu. Me kaita ma Mustafa Hamid dem intene so anama sorry. Me kaita ma Mustafa Hamid call meeting by na me the deputy be catch him say Abochi presidency has started free SHS in September we say
2017
2017 September na thousands of enkwala binya free SHS umfa so and I say fiase nya free SHS umfa so enya October mu newe.
So to kojo upon Krumano, all that the government is doing, you know, in me breaking it down, also called NGFN audio money, but then me breaking it down for terms I'll bet you I say all be settings. Yeah. I see ABP and kitten, I see settings. But then he also explained the reason why inflation, prices here, dollar performance, still the prices are upwards. Go show video here back here better also.
When your debut.
Sir, please what does it mean when they say inflation is down by 9.4%?
Inflation is the measure of the rate at which prices are going up. So when they say inflation has come down to 9.4%, they mean that from last year September to this year September, the rate at which prices were going up has slowed down to 9.4%. That's what it means. If you remember, at the end of 2024, Deloitte forecasts that this year, 2025, if you follow the program that the MPP government was using to bring inflation down, average inflation should be about 11% this year. So this 9.4, if you adjust for the average from the beginning of the year till now, I think it's about 17% average so far. In 2018 and 2019, during the MPP era, we brought inflation down to 7.8 and 7.1. So that's a context within which this current 9.4%, which brings it to an average of about 17% for the year. That's a context within which you should look at it.
What are some of the factors that contribute to
inflation going down?
Yes.
So usually, so there's demand and then there's supply side. So usually the government can do some things to ensure that whatever is causing the increases in price is controlled. Where the government is not able to do that, the Bank of Ghana will come in to suck some money out of the economy using various methods. Once too many people don't have so much money, then they won't demand too many things, which can sometimes make the prices go down. So in this particular instance, there are about 3 reasons. Number one is that, the currency is appreciated. Though now it's going back up, generally it's appreciated. The government has taken a lot of money from our reserves. Last time we spoke, I told you about 4 billion plus. They've dumped it on the market to try and suppress the currency. So it's allowed the currency to appreciate. And because of that, the prices of imported items have, in some cases, come down or stabilized or are not rising that quickly. So imported inflation is tamed. That's one of the main reasons. The second reason is that also on the imported side, as the global platforms, JP Morgan and the rest are reporting, the global inflation itself is also tamed a bit. So the rate at which prices were rising on the world stage following the different crises is also tamed. And then I think the last one is that the Bank of Ghana has sucked a lot of money from the local economy, about 60 billion. You remember the last time when we spoke in the conference room, I was explaining to you that they've sucked about 60 billion from the economy. And so it reduces how much money people have to demand. And that has a way of also slowing down the rate at which prices are going up.
So please, why are food prices so expensive?
That one, you have to look at it from the food and non-food side. So I've already explained to you that imported inflation is tamed, though domestic inflation is still, as in the price of locally manufactured goods is still a bit high. Then if you also look at it from food and non-food, you'll find out that food inflation has not gone down as much as non-food inflation. The reason is that the things that cause food inflation, so how are farmers getting inputs, fertilizers, fuel, for preparing their land, etc., transportation of food items, the margins that market queens, etc., are putting on it, storage problems, all of those ones have still not been solved. So food inflation is not taming as quickly as non-food inflation is taming. So that's why you see that food prices are still not lower per se, despite even the seasonalities.
This is my last question. What are some of the things we can do to make prices cheaper in the economy?
I think generally what all governments have to do is not just about NDC government, but all governments. What all governments have to do is to ensure that, for example, on the domestic side, locally manufactured goods, support is given to industry. Are they getting cheaper electricity? Is labor cost cheaper? Are raw materials cheaper? So that the final product will be cheaper. Then you and I, when we are buying, prices won't be rising that much. And then on the food side, like I mentioned, the things that go into food production and transportation and storage, the governments also have to tackle it so that food inflation also doesn't rise.
Okay, thank you.
We okay?
Me okay.
Yeah, me how.
So that was a nice explanation from Kojo Opon Nkrumah. Straight up, let's move on to this particular issue. Menoka say Dr. Bawumia, he was the messiah in the New Patriotic Party. Or no, or the Ghana card ebaye, or not the good for oil ebaye. Every good thing that happened in the previous administration was the hands of Dr. Bawumia and the ingenuity of Dr. Bawumia. But then all the bad things, the e-levy, the corruption, the scandals, he really did not want it to happen, but people forced and against his will. Now, the question as to what Bawumia is going to do and how he's going to posture himself between his predecessor Akufo-Addo and then he moving forward with his political ambition. He wanting to become a flag bearer and subsequently be the president. You know, how he's going to sell himself? Hey, one big question, because you can't run away from your record. Your record is tied to Akufo-Addo, but then he's trying to distinguish. Okay, I brought free SHS, I did good for oil, I brought Ghana card. These are good initiatives that help the country, and I'll continue to help the country. But then otherwise, the bad things like the e-levy, the betting tax, the COVID-19 levy, the galamsey issue, the mismanagement, the corruption, I was not part. And Bawumia is actually going with this particular playbook. By the way, and birthday, 62 years of age. Happy birthday, Bawumia. So, young go back. Bawumia, in head of Visa or Sambia, all parties say people should stop blaming him for the wrongdoings of Akufo-Addo. You wouldn't believe this. You should video here back here to us.
There was say me pese mo nyina mu hu say eye me na me wo ballot no so enye obia enti ebia obia ye hu hi owo me campaign mo mamma ne hu hi embetare me ne o ye ni asem o me ne mo ye ni asem me ne o ye ni asem kra enye sa Mama obi problem embetare me de me no ye ni atem utuma me a me ba we boa o me ba enti me pamocho mama obi asem embetare me say my brother wati tamo mami vote no me ne mo ye ni asem kra me da mo ase
so Bawumia is saying say people like ex-President Akufo-Addo, people like Chairman Wontumi, people like Kenny Japan, who have been implicated in various scandals, it is their issue. If you have any issue, it is between you and Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo, free SHS, it is between you and Akufo-Addo. Not between you and him, or a new candidate, or a newborn baby, or a president that. No, you're just a vice president. The boss can obey. Give him the chance. Manistiano. In this same vein, too, you also tackle the issue of religion being a major factor in swaying voters in the previous 2024 elections, because the Ken's campaign have they've been caught on guard saying, religion may have played a factor because it's a Muslim and Ghana is a Christian-dominated country in SMP. Yeah, sure how he responded to this, because in Japan, the campaign manager about Kokwesi Kwathin and in SMP about the video about back to us.
236 parliamentary candidates. Not only a Christopher. 236. And Kanipa vote according to religion. Then 236 candidates should have all done better than Dr. Bawumia. And yes, sir. But we have data no more. All of our strongholds, the data no we share. Said Dr. Bawumia was doing better than the parliamentary candidate in very many
Now, for Dr. Bawumia in some way too, Jano. Obviously, it was a dig at the Kenny Japan's team, campaign team, and also a dig at the Brian Champon team. Brian Champon made reference of some Mamprusi stuff, and also because according to Brian Champon, they were saying that Bawumia is going to bring the northern votes, which in literal terms did not really translate into the votes. Okay, and also Kenny Japan is also of the view that the religion kind of played a factor because Christians who basically not want if anything a Muslim leader in SMP, but then Ken Japan's campaign team member Kwesi Kwati Mababekasa Sheha or say Doctor or make some 5 points, detailing why Bawumia is wrong. Or see Dr. Bawumia's attempt to dismiss religion as a factor in the 2024 elections by claiming he outperformed 236 Christian MPP parliamentary candidates is highly or logically weak, overly simplistic, utterly deceptive, and completely unattainable. In Topaya said, in some about Miyaka say, they said it was religion, but me and I'm a presidential candidate, and will be another parliamentary candidate. No religion, a ban is more vote than the parliamentary candidate in almost 236 constituencies. Well, so. I say first, the basis of the comparison itself is false and faulty. DMB's, as Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's true competitor was John Mahama and a Christian presidential candidate. Therefore, the proper and proportional measure is presidential versus presidential, not presidential versus parliamentary. Just opposing himself against his own party's Christian PCs is misleading, and it confuses two distinct contests, one national and one local, each shaped by entirely different dynamics. So, Kwesi Kwati and Pacha said, Bawumia and Pacha said, okay, I perform better than the parliamentary candidate. No, Pacha, see, people on the parliamentary candidate, on the ballot paper, no, people are not looking at parliamentary candidate and presidential candidate. They look at it this way. Presidential candidate is yourself, if you are Donko, Mahama, Cheddar, and Lanchemantin. That is the comparison that they are seeing. And on the parliamentary candidate, they are seeing an MPP parliamentary candidate, an NDC parliamentary candidate, a CP parliamentary candidate, a PNC parliamentary candidate. So you comparing yourself in a different league with a parliamentary candidate, no, it's like comparing your friend is saying a lime or lemons with oranges. They are two different things altogether. Or say, moreover, presidential and parliamentary elections are fundamentally different. Presidential contests are shaped by national narrative and broader perceptions of leadership, while parliamentary elections depend on constituency level factors. Indeed, the fact that 345,000 voters supported our PCCS or parliamentary candidate yet rejected Dr. Bawumia at the presidential level proves this point. Hence, collapsing these categories only reduces a complex electoral process into one simplistic conclusion. Only serves to distort the reality of voter behavior. Into a part, I say, in some about Bawumia can say, oh, any factor, and all parties they be the fact say parliamentary voters no cry no. The fact that 345,000 supported or move various parliamentary candidates and move rejected Bawumia no cry say Bawumia's argument is flawed in the first place. Okay, because people are voting for their constituencies. Because voting for MPR or voting for Nipo Babaya Quine, Nipo Babaya Gota, Nipo Bebois, Nipo Besi schools. Presidential need or share the broader perspective, the economy, inflation, and all those things. Four. The data reference itself does not support his argument. Out of 236 MP Christian parliamentary candidates and 215 NDC Christian parliamentary candidates, at least 91% of the parliamentary contests were Christian versus Christian. In such a scenario, religion is effectively neutralized as a deciding factor, leaving the candidate's popularity, incumbency, and party strength as the real viable determinant. To suggest that outperforming some Christian parliamentary candidates proves religion was irrelevant ignores both context and electoral logic. To a point, I say, what's parliamentary candidates now? And I call for a vote for. Most of these candidates were Christian candidates versus Christian candidates. So, where is Bawumia's argument? So they rejected the Christian candidate and voted for him otherwise. They be Most of these candidates were Christian candidates. 5. Finally, the true fact that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia chose to measure himself against a Christian parliamentary candidate within own party suggests more of a rhetorical maneuver than an empirical and honest analysis of the data. And I dare say that if religion were inconsequential, the natural comparison would have been to his direct rival JM, not his own parliamentary candidate, who in the end outperformed him by a margin of 345,000 votes. Even Bawumia cry or party say, Sisiano, vote man no same parliamentary candidates. The data we watch say wrong. Over 300,000 people voted for parliamentary candidates more than the presidential candidates. That's MPP4. More voted for MPP presidential more voted for MPP parliamentary candidate more than a MPP presidential candidate. And aside from that too, the fact that Bawumia is comparing himself to parliamentary candidates rather than a presidential candidate, it is really jaw-dropping. So you could see definitely the tension in here. You could see say John Dramani Mahama, and I say the issue of whether Bawumia religion may have caused a factor or not. So clearly, it is a back and forth within the New Patriotic Party. Bawumia is saying, vote for him because religion did not play a factor. Well, at the end of the day, Penifo says Siniechi and Ebiun Charlie. So that is exactly one of the things. Of course, once again, we are live. So yes, sir, for comments, Ebra. For comments, Ebra, exactly what you think about all of these things are so. All right, so with Insemfofro, because there's a lot of issues are in regards with the whole Chairman Wontumi and in summer the whole Galamsey issue. Menoka say the country is really in hot waters because all of us want to know exactly what is really going on, the way forward, what will happen tomorrow, any other day. But undoubtedly, one of the major issues issue a very big cause for alarm the issue of Galamsey. The issue of Galamsey. So what is really going on now? Menoka say one person also ordinary no ababe to same way Vim Lady. So what is Vim Lady saying? Vim Lady is basically going off ranks and saying, John Dramani Mahama, Kamea's recent tactics though, it is really being caught on. I didn't know Okasa or party said and say, but that's sorry, no what to say. Or party say, Jackpan send some audio leaks, near say Godfrey Damia or can send binia the other or say Sansem no. To her. On Vim Lady, it is one big effort of attention seeking, attention deviation, and I said diverting your friend is attention because you see, Galamsey issue are prevalent. Things are really going on well. And the idea you bit my son be a masses no omunka ye near man let's deviate that attention. So Vim Lady believes that all of these things are air course on is just one big attention seeking. The whole Jackpot Godfrey damage one thing that the NDC is using to your friend is change attention, divert attention based on Niema air courses in regards to the Galamsey and the economic pressures. You could see sema Vim Lady edit to Jay Babaka a better so.
Jackpot, my president mama focus on Eduma. Say Galamsey na adi going. And do dita macro catch at a importing so 11 million. Now I'm focusing on my head, Juma big push. Galamsey on best solve it. If I president mama, I did about 4 years. Say president mama and to me and solve it. Sa Galamsey issue na subi and what I say. Or better Kufado. Na subi a version because everybody can remember. And 4 years because see president mama is in a very peculiar position because on Senasu 8 years. On Senasu 8 years. Now the most a branch of Kuma would a bread or so, and I president mama and system constitution. Canada Casa will be uncle him. Yem Bussard, 70 million children, we are not a soccer and President Rollins, when we are constitution. Ya 1 year maybe a Dutch constitution may entrench, and then on the brofono. Oh, to me, so they take employee. Oh, majority crowd or parliament to cross super majority. Oh, to me, to me, now there will be also your mother say that you are running a mayor class on President Mamma. You got a President Mamma or a John. Come on, I'm mobile. You money, yeah. Yes, some constitution money is simple. Changing or amending an entrenched clause in the constitution. It's a simple matter. It It's something that the president can just wake up or so bad. No, about the year. And that's a one. Kuma no na abekache obeche president mama nyansa. Wo na abeche ni to go change. This is an insurance clause. And your clause I just a referendum yan so keke enko change. The president cannot do that. One be na won change. It president mama 4 years pe. Maybe or the Erikopoku ba na Julius Braba no beto aso man, but 4 years you know. There's an obligation on president mama so also solve galamsey no. On one kan ye. We see a couple at the time, the state of the emergency. Now, they also may state of the emergency. Those are the questions that the president Mama to me are solve. Those are the questions that people will be asking him. And that is why, 4 years, the president Mama must not allow Jackpa. I'm choosing my words very carefully. The president must not allow Jackpa because Jackpa need any ballot paper. Need any history books. President Mama and
So according to Vim Lady, this whole thing is just one big thing or more yet to divert attention. Now, on this same Galamsey issue, Dennis Miracle Abuajo happened to be an MPP communicator and also one of the chief campaigners for the Baumia campaign or the Simbia Babetuja. Now, at the start of this year, the MDC have been boasting, say, you know what, we've not issued any mining licenses. Oh, no, the chats are better over the past 4 years. Akufado's 8 years and 4 years. Oh, you see, 2,000 mining licenses. Menoka say, Dennis Miracle Abuaji, according to his own checks, party said Mahama have started issuing mining licenses backdoor. Now he brought out this chart. Maybe I ask second or a particular date and time frame. Or party said, Mo amusi galamsey any hono, galamsey ewo. Into share dates now. Bibi I say, young fan from the far left. Ube say, the friend is almost started from a year. The friend is June. It's June. Omo ma a mining license be a company be a friend modern mining ventures. Omo license. The same June so ma Miss Mayana mining ventures. Omo license. The same a year. June na so no ma ya D-boy mining ventures ya mo license it license ni ebebre and na ewo ho a ba. Now in all of these things Dennis Miracle Abuaji also said say people are not reporting on this because the NDC is going about saying otherwise. Share article we FimanJohnOnline.com Dennis Miracle Abuaji share and say no mining license has been issued since I assumed office. And Mahama recently said this as early as last month. Okay, 10th September 2025. And then the NDC but then the reality on the ground is that the mining licenses, as you can see here, which dates any the cycle now, it is there. Mahama has been giving my licenses. And so share the cycle now. Active licenses. And what are they mining? Gold. They are mining gold. Now, Dennis Miracle Abuaji further went on to actually explain what is really going on and how his findings should be something that me and you should be talking about. Into a positive way, an official social media handle in Twitter to be precise. Or say at least this NDC government has granted 12 mining licenses within the crisis period. It is our time where I can't say issue backdoor. The NDC is also giving license. Also, let them not deceive you. Again, the NDC is doing PR with Galamsey, and this is simply because they have boxed themselves into a corner where they have created that impression licenses at the cost of Galamsey. According to Dennis Miracle Abuaji, the reason why NDC ain't mean buy out and because okay, yama license. Omoka say yama license because ome creating impression say Akufo-Addo license be on my and na Galamsey na ide akosro. Atima say yen to aso. Osanso to aso say now they have to deal with the propaganda, and their way of doing that is to mislead the public. So according to Dennis Miracle Abuaji, sisi ane de abeto dwase sisi ane de omo eyeden Galamsey ekoso. Nti Galamsey ekoso ade na woso me ene yen kan cheni ntu mfuturo ngu nkofo ni say since His Excellency John Dramani Mahama bae no oma any license biaye yen to aso. Also now they have to deal with I can't know that. While the NDC government talks about licenses and requests for a trophy as they announce plans to cancel licenses, they are and continue to grant mining licenses even in the face of the escalated crisis. galamsey one sema na friends for suku ashabeka, please be aware we've not issued any mining license. Na mama akoka ide see akoka che SEIZES for no, we've not issued any mining license or say a force. They are doing this in the face of the public, no, they will have a good face, and they are making it seem say o cancel licenses are not galamsey jai. Meanwhile, the people who are doing small scale mining, no, they are going through the rigorous your friend is mechanisms. You check your mo. Okay, periodically, no, their license that is say call for thorough checks. One more year license you no illegal mine galamsey say yes you know. Yeah, to us. Also in short here is the list of mining licenses they've granted in this short period of 9 months. Verify this yourself when you have little time. So, or the link now to what or said this is exactly what is really going on. And what does that mean? That means at the end of the day, no, in some of him lady air patcher says, you see at the galamsey issue, no, it is one big cancer at the end of the day. If John Dramani Mahama does not tackle this issue head on very well, it is going to be a thorn in the flesh, especially going forward into the 2028 elections. Well, in our doing concerning this whole issue, we will come back once again live around 8:30. Thank you so much for watching. But if I have some few comments here, I may read here. Comments biaba we attack crew fi say Mahama is digging a hole for his NDC members like Joseph Yamin and others in 2029. Asemo we fi Gertrude Boatima or say hi Gertrude hi too. And we fi Haruna Fusin or say him lady, how long are you living in America since 2017? Ajay so ansem ne di empacho minko kebi yedibesi say one more update as all of these various events unfold.